Welcome, 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 you guys. We've got some very important things to discuss. Let's get right to it. Are you dating your husband? Yeah, I know, that sounds weird. Are you dating your husband? It's so stinking important to date your man, especially after you have been married. So, my husband and I started dating when we were, I was 14 and he was 15. So I was in 9th grade, he was in 10th grade. We got married when I had just turned 22. He was almost 23. And I'm 32 now. He's 33. So that's a lot of numbers. That was kind of overwhelming. So just know that in January we will hit 18 years together. And we're at like 10 and a half years married. So, we have 2 kids. Makoa just turned 2, and Leilani is a couple of weeks away from being 5. And I'll say this. This probably is more geared towards people that have been in relationships for a while, as well as parents. If you have, hey Jen, thanks for hopping on. I love when there's other Jennifers on. It's so important to keep the romance alive. And I'm not just talking about sex, or as I like to refer to it as brown chicken, brown cow. That's important too. But you have to keep the romance alive. You have to liven things up. Don't rely on when the kids go to bed and you're sitting there watching Stranger Things on Netflix together. You need to have more intimacy there. You need to like put a little spice back into it. You know what I'm saying? So what you need to do, I'm gonna tell you what you need to do. You need to date. You need to go back to think about back when things were really good, when your relationship was like at its highest peak, when things were like the honeymoon phase, when you just couldn't get enough of each other, when you felt like he loved you more than anything in the world, and you were his #1 priority. Not saying that you're not now, but the time you felt like you were, and vice versa. You need to channel that again, and you need to think about what is it that was different then that's different now. And you can't keep using your kids as an excuse. I get it. Kids take up a lot of time and energy and love, but without your spouse, the kids wouldn't exist. Am I right? Yes, that is a fact. So you really have to nurture your marriage and your relationship. And I'm not saying to put your husband before your kids, because I know I'm going to be like, my husband's never coming before my kids. I love my kids. Da 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 da. Shh, zzz. That's not what I'm talking about here. I would do anything for my kids too. However, I would do anything for my husband. And my kids are going to grow up, and they're going to move on with their lives. They're going to go off to college. They're going to move away. Hopefully not far, because I might die if that happens, because I'm kind of a helicopter parent. However, I know it's like the inevitable and it's going to happen. So you have to like mentally prepare yourself for the fact that there's going to come a time in your marriage, in your relationship, where it's just going to be you and your husband again. Some of you watching, you may already be there. You may have an empty nest. Some of you may be at the beginning of your relationship. Maybe you don't have kids yet. But just think in the future. Think in terms of down the road. There's going to come a point in time where it's just you and your boo again. And you need to nurture your relationship now, because if you don't continue, think of it like pumping a water well. If you don't continue pumping that well and keeping that momentum going, eventually the water's going to stop flowing. And you don't want to get to a point in your marriage where you realize you didn't nurture it enough, and now all of a sudden things are not working anymore. If you're a gardener, we can use a gardening analogy. You have to constantly be fertilizing the soil, making sure it's got the right nutrients, making sure that you're tending to the soil, so that way the seeds and your crops and your flowers, whatever it is you're planting, or marriage, is constantly nourishing and growing and having exactly what it needs to thrive. If you continue to push your husband aside, not saying you do, but if he doesn't feel in his mind like he's a priority in your life, like he's not your number one, eventually things aren't going to be as wonderful as they once were. I don't want to make like blanket statements because every relationship is different. And I don't want it to sound like my relationship is perfect, because Lord knows it has not been perfect. We have had tons of peaks and valleys. We went through our entire teenage years together. We are our first loves, our first everything. And we had a lot of challenges, especially in the beginning of our marriage. We had challenges when I was hormonal from the pregnancies. We've had our challenges, you guys. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm perfect, he's perfect, our relationship is perfect. But what I am saying is I kind of know my stuff, because we have overcome so many struggles throughout the years. And I'm no expert. That's not what I'm saying here. I've not been to like marriage school or whatever. But I want to be like a beacon of hope for you guys. And I want you guys to look to me as someone that kind of like can help you and guide you to get to the point you want to be in your relationship. So, maybe you feel like everything's okay, or maybe things aren't okay. Maybe he's like screwing up and you just can't take it anymore, but you just don't want to give up. I don't know. Your circumstances are your own personal business, unless you want to involve me and get some advice. That's okay too. I don't mind that. I don't want you to feel like you have to put it out there right now for the world to read, because that's between you, him, and God. But just know that everyone's got their own skeletons in the closet, okay? But sometimes you need support and you need encouragement, and you just need a little oomph. You need a little bit of, to help you get a little pep back in the step. I will help you do that. So I want you guys to consider this. And you can answer at the bottom if you want. Totally up to you. When was the last time you and your husband went on a date? I'm talking without the kids. You put effort into your appearance. You made yourself look like you didn't just roll out of bed like, come on, I need to like put a little effort in right now. But you went out, just the two of you, and you talked and you had deep conversations that weren't involving your children or finances. Because let's be honest, when you talk about the bills, that like brings up some nasty, ugly feelings, right? You can't talk about your kids and you can't talk about the bills. Those are like two off-topic things. No, off limits. Don't talk about that. Think about the last time you actually dated. You've got to make sure you both know that you are a priority in each other's lives, and not just in the sense of in the bedroom. Do you understand what I'm saying when I say that? Because girls, you know what I'm talking about. It's something annoying when it feels like all he wants is some brown chicken, brown cow, and you're not getting love and attention. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I know it's not bedtime and all of a sudden you want to tell me I'm beautiful and that I'm pretty and that I smell good. Do you know what I'm saying? Can I get an amen? Because y'all know that's happened before. And my husband's going to watch this and he's going to say, I cannot believe you said that. But, I mean, really he can, because I don't have a filter. No holds bar here, you guys. Nothing is off limits. We've all been there, okay? We have felt that he just wanted a little brown chicken, brown cow. Right? And then when that happens, we are like, pump the brakes, yo. Not happening. Now I for real have a headache and I am going to sleep. So, at night, when you have energy and it's not pressure to perform, you need to date your man. Okay, so over 3 years for you. We need to talk about that, and maybe we can do that privately, because I would say that it's long overdue for you. If it's been 3 years since you've dated your man, you and Boo need to go out and you need to make each other a priority for Maybe you only have an hour to spare. You can get a lot accomplished in an hour. You can have a lot of deep-rooted conversations in an hour. You can drum up a lot of feelings in an hour. You can really show each other in an hour how much they mean to you. And I'm not suggesting that you go on a candlelight dinner with reservations you had to make 2 weeks in advance and then go see a movie on the night of its release. That's not what I'm saying. Anything can be considered a date. You could go on a car ride, anything. You could go get a little bit of Christmas shopping done early. Maybe shopping to you doesn't sound like a date, but to me, shopping without kids is romance. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe you could go, I know it gets dark early now, so take a walk inside, like go to the mall or something, and just hold hands, put your arms around each other, be present with each other. Put your phone away, put it on Do Not Disturb, and just talk. Channel that point in your relationship where things were amazing and you were head over heels with each other. So that's what I encourage you guys to do. You need to make a priority. Maybe once a month is realistic. Maybe every other month. I don't know. It's all very much dependent on you guys. But for myself and my husband, we're going to make a priority weekly. Every Wednesday night, it's going to be date night. So tonight is going to be date night for us. We're going to go out and have dessert. And we're going to make a point to have someone watch our kids for us for a couple of hours. So that way we do not have to worry about wrangling them. Because whenever we go in public, we each have to take a kid and like make sure we're watching them really well. So I want to lead into my big, hairy, scary goal. So for 2018, my goal is to help 50 women go on 2,500 dates with their husbands. And I know that that sounds like crazy unrealistic, but if you break it down, that's about a goal. That's about a date a week per woman. So whether that's realistic for you or not, I don't know. We'd have to talk about it and think about it and brainstorm what you could do. But that's my goal. And my mission is going to be to help women. And you don't have to be in a troubled relationship. Let's be honest. It doesn't have to be like pointing fingers because someone's doing something wrong. Maybe things are doing really, really well for you and you just need a little bit of support and encouragement from a friend. Hello, I'll be your friend. What I actually did was I have a community on Facebook called Balancing Wife Life, and it's just a place that's like a safe haven for wives to get support in their relationships. And it's not like you have to go in there and talk like personal business and tell us all your dirty little secrets and tell us every fault and everything that happened and went wrong. But sometimes it's nice to just meet people that are in your situation. I know for me, for a really long time, because I got married when I was 22, I didn't have friends that were in my place in life. I didn't have married friends for several years. And I know that once I had kids, that was a whole nother ballgame because I had married friends, but I didn't have married friends that had kids. So it's nice to have friends everywhere you turn. And that's why I created the community. I just want to help women, you know, rekindle that spark. Get back to that place in their marriage where they feel like we're honeymooning again. This is amazing. It hasn't been this way in a long time. So there's that. I wanted to invite you guys to be a part of that community. You don't have to be. It's free. You don't have to pay to be in there. It's just me giving you strategies and tips and advice on how to just get that love and that romance in your marriages again. So I was going to put the link in the comments for you guys so you could click that once this is over. I don't think it's a live link until the video ends, but you can click that and go join and be a part of it. But yeah, what do y'all think of that goal? It's 50 dates in 50 women 2,500 dates in all of 2018, and I'm going to be keeping track of it, and I'm going to hit that goal. I know I am. I'm so confident in it. I know it can be done. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks for all your support. I hope to see you in Balancing Wife Life. We're having a lot of fun in there, and actually every Wednesday night I'm going to go live in there with a different strategy and tip, and once a month Daniel has agreed to go in there live with me too. So tonight he's going in the group with me live, and we're going to do it together, and it'll just be fun to have a male perspective on different things. So thanks again for watching. Feel free to share this if you like, and if you have any questions, you know where to find me. I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.